Welcome to Feeling Fit with Carrie. So today we're going to talk about ballet. Now a lot of my videos are yoga and more fitness based, but I've been a dancer for a very long time and I love it. And a lot of people think, oh, I've always wanted to try it, but I didn't start when I was 3, which you have to start when you're 3, and you have to be really, really skinny and really, really flexible. First of all, I didn't start dancing until I was 15, and I've been doing it 20 years. I've done it professionally, I've done it for fun, I've taught it, I've performed, it's great. It's okay, everybody can dance. You don't think about, oh, I've got to be a Juilliard ballerina. Maybe you just want to dance in your house a little and have some fun. Also, dancers, much like yogis, we're not flexible. We don't dance because we're flexible. We don't dance because we're thin. We're flexible and thin because we dance. Dance will get you there. So it's a great thing to do for flexibility. Ballet especially is great because there's so many things you have to think about as far as placement in your body, strength in your core with your balances, much like yoga. It's basically yoga standing all the time, but it moves a little bit. So we're just gonna talk about a few basic things at the bar today. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is first position. My heels are touching and my toes are apart. Now you don't have to be way back here if that's not where your flexibility allows. This is fine. Anywhere you can be where when you bend your knees, they go straight over your toes, yes? So we wanna think about that. Now you can start with your hands on your hips to feel your hips. We talk about this in some of my yoga videos. We want hips to always be aligned with each other. They're like headlights on the car. If one headlight's facing a different way, we're gonna crash the car. We wanna always face the same direction. So think about when you're placing your feet together, my thighs are squeezing together, I'm holding my core, I'm engaging my abs and holding my body up and making sure that my hips are always lined up nice and level. Now, it's pretty easy to do when you're standing both feet on the ground. And a little bit, when we pick our feet up, it's gonna get more challenging, so we'll talk about that. So if you need that hand here, you can put it here. Always, always hold on to the bar whenever you need it. It's always there for you. That's why we have it. So we're gonna start with a plie. Plie just means to bend your knee. So we're gonna start with a demi-plie. Demi means half. So I'm gonna take my arms, I'm going to prepare, you're always gonna see this, up and open. I take the bar and I'm just going to do a little demi-plie. Now notice my knees go right over my toes, my arm just comes down and it's scooping and I come back up. And I'm gonna go again, down and up. Now we're gonna try a grand plie, which just means big or full. All the way down, when you're in first position, you go through that demi, your heels come up, you're just gonna take that arm right through that same place, all the way to where we started. Now I'm gonna turn sideways so we can talk about a few things. Now, we always wanna be lined up nice and straight. Sometimes when I teach my students, especially the kids, I always tell them, don't leave your booty behind. They always wanna stick it back behind, or they wanna put their tummy out in front. So you wanna line everything up and think about going straight down and straight up. Never backwards or forwards, none of that, and never sinking. Never, never, never. So you wanna really pull up in those abs, and we'll do the same thing with both hands on the bar. This is always a good place to start as well. Demi and stretch, demi and stretch, grand plie, all the way down, back up to where we started. Now I'm gonna show you the same thing in second position. So my feet are open a little bit. Now they don't have to be super wide. You want them right under you, about hips width apart, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, depending on your body. We're gonna have the same arms. Now there are different things you can do with your arms, but this general kind of what I like to call I'm holding my beach ball, that's a pretty basic place to have your arms. You can always have hand on the hip if you need. So we prepare, we hold our beach ball, we open up, we take the bar, same thing. We go demi and stretch, so we're only going halfway, demi and stretch. Now, second position, your heels do not come off the floor in your grand plie. So you wanna go a little further down. You don't wanna come all the way down here. So you wanna go right about here, all the way down, back up, and here. So from the side, this is one where we are all very guilty of leaving our booties behind. So we go demi and stretch, demi and stretch, grand plie, just as far as your body will let you. Don't stick out, don't let the chest fall forward. Keep everything right below you, down and up, yes? So those are two positions. Now, third position is one we use for really, really basic, usually for little kids. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip that one. We'll come back to fifth. All third is right here. So and fifth is here. So my heel is touching my toes. Third is where my heel is right in the middle of my foot. If that's more comfortable for you, I'll let you decide. But know if I say fifth position, you can do either one. So fourth position, your feet are open. They're turned out and there's some space between your legs. Now, school of thought of how far. You don't want it super far, but you don't want it super close. So you want it just a little bit apart. Exact same thing we did before. We prepare, we open, demi, and stretch, demi, and stretch, grand plie, all the way down, and up, and so from the side, this is definitely a difficult one. What happens is when we're down here, we lose our turnout, and we come here. Always keep everything turned out to the side, reaching those heels forward. You want to think presenting that heel, bringing it forward. This is great, even if you never want to be a dancer, these are great exercises for those inner thigh muscles. They make those legs look nice and long and lean. So, I'm in my fourth, I'm turned out, my toes are going out, I'm right over, my weight is still right over the middle, right in between my feet is where my weight is. So I'm not forward or back. Equal weight on both feet, and demi, my knees go to the side, stretch, demi, and stretch. Here's the trick, the grand plie, all the way down, still equal weight, pushing the heels down and back up. So that one can be a little bit challenging. That one you can tend to come forward or back. That's okay, we work on that one. And now I'm gonna come to my fifth. Again, feel free to come to this third. It's not bad, it's not wrong, it's just not used very often, but if that's more comfortable for you, that's perfectly fine. We prepare, and we open, we demi, and stretch, demi, and stretch, grand plie, all the way down, back up, and so from the side, same thing. This one, we have the same problem. When we come down here, we want to start to do this or do any of this. If you do want to dance and you're on a stage, you're not going to have that bar. So you really want to think about getting to the point where you don't need it. It's just here if you do. So that means you can't lean any one way. You have to really hold your body. So we demi, we stretch, demi, and stretch, all the way down. See how I'm holding everything straight up, and now I push my heels back down through that demi, standing up. So think about those things when you're working those plies. Those are great to do every day. You don't have to have a bar at home. You can use your kitchen counter or your dresser. I've definitely been in my room at home, hand on the dresser, just doing some plies. They're really great, again, to work these inner thigh muscles. So that's a very good intro exercise to do. One other one we're gonna do today is just a very simple balance. So this one's very similar to our tree in yoga. So remember, when you're in yoga, this foot is parallel and this foot is turned out. Ballet, you're always turned out. You're never gonna not turn your feet out. You're never gonna see this. If you see this in ballet, it's wrong. So always turn both feet out. We're gonna do what's called coupe. Coupe just means to cut, and it's just a position similar to our tree, but our foot is down. So you want to keep this ankle. I like to tell the kids, my toe is kissing my ankle. There's no pressure, my heel isn't touching, just my toe. So I'm pointing through my toe, presenting this heel. This heel is coming forward, and it's right here down at my ankle, and I'm gonna have my arms here. Now, if I need to support myself and hold onto the bar, that's perfectly fine. You want to think about keeping everything nice and centered. This is where the trick comes in with the hips. Sometimes we start to get into puppy peeing on the fire hydrant because we want to hike this leg up higher, or we feel like we're going to fall over. So you've got to keep those hips nice and even. So when you're here, think about my tailbone is reaching straight down, my glutes are reaching down. I'm not cocking that hip out to the side. So I'm going to balance on the other side just so you can see. Normally you would turn around so you could hold the bar on the other side. So you're going to have it nice and even, nice and even. Hold this hip, feel it, find it, and hold it. Everything is tight. This is very tight, this is relaxed. You see a lot of this, a lot of that. Relax. See how it made me fall down? We don't want any of that. So turn out, nice and equal turn out. Get that knee going straight to the side, open through the hips, nice and equal. And we hold on. And we want to think about somebody's taking a string right off the top of our head and pulling it up. And just like I say in yoga, don't look at the floor. It's not going anywhere. Right back down. So that's a nice little balance you can try. Those plies are great to do every day, working those inner thighs. As we progress into our videos, we'll have some more challenging things. We will have some more different exercises that you can work through into little combinations and things with music we will have in the future. So remember, Feeling Fit with Carrie, check me out on Facebook, tell all of your friends, and keep on working. Thank you and have a great day.